Hello.
Hello, welcome back to Neil and Jan Resellers. And
Next Sunday, the 19th of
19th
June,
of June.
2022.
excellent. And so we've just got back from a boot sale. And but first of all, yesterday we went to Faygate, and we've got I've got the items from Faygate to show you.
Yeah. Got loads there yesterday morning. It was a fabulous one.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I mean, it's always a fabulous boot sale, but
Yeah.
it's the luck of the draw, isn't it? That if you go on the day when all the things that are wonderful for you,
That you want,
but
yes.
yesterday for us, it really was a field of dreams, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit because I'm transitioning over to.
No, he's not becoming a woman.
I've done it
because he doesn't know about trousers.
Transitioned into buying trousers. I'm going to move into selling clothes and shoes, and at the moment I'm concentrating on jeans. I feel that you've got to learn one area at a time, continue doing that, and then move into other clothing and shoes. But I'm still going to do my cameras. And there's the odd little thing I'll probably pick up. So, but what I wanted to mention is that I actually bought 43 pairs of jeans yesterday. The other 30 are behind me, but I'm not going to show you that 30. I've just selected 13 that I think could be reasonable money, and I'll explain it
possibly
afterwards.
Slightly more interesting.
And hopefully slightly more interesting.
And if you do want to see 40 pairs of jeans one by one,
well,
do
comment
below.
But I've got a feeling most of you
probably
don't want to see a whole load of jeans, but I will briefly run through them. But just explaining that. I also want to explain that I have written them down. And what I've done is I've gone onto eBay, and the whatever it's called, Terra Peak, and I've got the prices here from, it's over the last year. I've taken the mid-range, so you can actually see what things have sold for on average and stuff. So I've taken, you've got the minimum that they've sold for, the maximum, and I've gone for the mid-range. So all of these figures are taken from the mid-range of generally what everything, the average of what they sell for, as second-hand and or pre-owned, and that's where I get all of my figures from. So just to let you kind of know that. But saying that, shall I start with the camera?
Why not? That's what you're famous for.
That's what, yes.
Before you start that, can you just have a bit of that drink? Just drink a bit before it starts slopping everywhere.
Saying that,
it's only going to take a dog to knock the table, and
it is. If you haven't got yourself a drink,
or a sandwich,
or something to sit down and have a watch.
Boat. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy, well, whatever day you're watching it on. Happy that day.
Whatever year you're watching it on.
Whenever you're watching it.
That's the magic of YouTube. We have no idea when this
you're
is
watching
going to
it.
reach you. We are time travellers.
Anyway, so yeah, even though I'm transitioning over to doing clothes and stuff, I can't help but to get a camera when it's like this. You know, this is an Olympus. It is the AZ 230 Super Zoom. It's a nice little camera. I paid £5 for it. You know, if I could have picked it up for £3, I would have. But you know, I'm happy to go up to £5 for something like this. This is
back in the day, you'd go into duty free and spend half your holiday spending money on one of those before you'd even got on the plane.
It's a nice little film camera, as you can see. Haven't tested it up yet or anything, although there is was some batteries in it, and I believe if you turn it on, we do actually have a little power thing on there. But
and I was going to say, I've got a feeling, if memory serves me right, that used to sell at around about £199 back in the kind of late
Well, I
80s.
think I've looked. I think these second-hand generally go for. I think I saw one within the last year sold for about 60. They do tend to go for about 45 to 60 now, I believe. What's that you're looking at?
I was just looking at the. I can't see what that is. That
That's a plus
optical adjuster on the.
Yes.
That it would have been in one of the top ranges to be able to adjust the.
Jan's talking about the optical adjuster there. But yeah, it's a nice.
You don't get that sort of feature until you've gone right up in the range of.
It's a nice little camera. Obviously, before I stick this on, what I do is I do tend to stick a film actually in them. Now I don't know if I count this as film tested, but what I do is I've got a couple of old films, and I'll run it through and check that it clicks, and that it will take the photo, and that it will rewind it, and that it will wind it on, and then I get the film and then pull it back out again and stick it in another camera, and just to test that it does those motor wind stuff. I don't actually get a film developed. That would just cost money and time, and
you can't develop a film. Well, buy and develop a film for every single camera.
No, but I do run a film. If it's a film camera, I do run a film in, check that it winds on.
Do you say in the listing film tested, as in the film has been
No, I just say film tested.
Film runs and rewinds.
Yeah, but maybe I should put that. But I do that on every camera and just check that they work before they go out. But anyway, really happy with that. That was £5, and yeah, that was a nice little camera. So, Jan, what have you got for us?
Well, I'll just start off with the one that gave Neil
I laughed at this.
Such hilarity when he saw it, because I had that. I paid 20p for it, and he thought it was absolutely hilarious. He thought it was something that a 4-year-old would want. And it's like, no, Neil, this is what ladies hang their scarves in the wardrobe.
And I didn't know this. Jan was coming back I was already at the car. Jan was coming, and look what I've got. And
for 20p. The point was I got it for 20p. And it's like a brand new scarf hanger,
which is brilliant. But I didn't know what I was.
Resale value. It's probably only £5 or £6. It's not going to make a fortune. Could, however, make a present for someone.
However.
But it was just the fact that he burst out laughing, thinking that I'd
you come back
just regressed to childhood with
my
butterfly.
I probably didn't see the actual that it was actually a hanger.
Hanger.
What I saw is, look what I've got, and it's this big
purple
butterfly. Just couldn't help. But Jan loves butterflies. She
love purple.
She loves purple and things with
butterfly.
So I just burst out laughing.
He just assumed the worst. And thought it was just me regressed to childhood. So I got that one for 20p.
So that was really
I
good.
thought was a very good buy. You don't often see purple butterflies of any description at a car boot
Right,
sale.
well, this next piece that I've got, I've sold a couple before, actually. But I was concentrating on picking up jeans and looking for cameras, and I wasn't really looking at bags. But it's not just a normal bag. We have one of these child carrying rucksacks. So it's, let's see if I can, so your child goes in the top bit.
Yeah, make sure you put it in the right way.
It's basically a rucksack, and your child is at the top, and you carry all your stuff. The brand is MacPack, and it's a possum.
Is it a New Zealand brand?
It's a
or
New
an
Zealand.
Australian? Oh, possum. Is that Australian?
Possum. This is a made in New Zealand.
New Zealand.
I've actually picked up one of these before and sold it before. I paid £10 for it. They normally cost hundreds when they're new. Saying that, the price recently, we're probably looking at 50 or 60 quid to resell it at. But from 10 quid into 50 or 60 quid, it's still worth picking up. Now, saying that, it actually had, and Jan said, oh, did you check the pocket at the bottom?
Well, the storage compartment at the bottom.
There's a storage compartment at the bottom
where
here.
you can put in your...
And in here we have a...
Because you found spare kiddie clothes in there before, haven't you?
Yeah, what's that say?
That says MacPack Sombrero.
Sombrero.
That's a sun. You just stick your child's head in it, basically. It's got a fly screen.
Right.
Well, I don't know if that's a fly screen or a UV filter thing. Or if you're just Michael Jackson and don't want to show the face. I don't know.
But there's also a...
I mean, in my day, you let your kids get wet and sunburned.
And then you've got a waterproof cover as well. Waterproof cover. And I guess you're going to get the kind of look, hello, I'm going to get rained on. I don't know if I mean, are they allowed to do that with kids? Won't they suffocate? Won't they kind of...
Well, it's breathable.
I mean, well, this one isn't.
Did you want to do this as a screenshot?
Well, have that one, Elizabeth. Maybe it's
No, I don't
both.
want to wear two.
But anyway, so
yeah, so it had things in the pocket.
Extra bits. So I mean,
I expect that extra bit would probably be at least £10.
Well, I was going to say
as
this
an individual thing.
This water cover one is £35.
See.
So anyway, so yeah, we got. I picked that up, and it was a case of he said it was £10, and literally I had £5 left. I had to go running back to Jan, going.
Well, luckily we had the walkie-talkie,
Yeah.
so it's Bank of Jan, Bank of Jan.
And
you got any money?
yeah, because actually, when was it? It was only last week you mentioned about making sure I look out for them.
I can't remember when I said
it was only
it,
within the last week. You say, we do know that they.
On the way to boot sales over the years, we go to the boot sale and we have this tradition of in the car on the way. What are you looking out for today?
Yeah.
And it might have been velvet curtains to make cloaks with, because I used to make a lot of cloaks for pagan rituals and things. It might have been
especially just coming up to a trip to Stonehenge or something like that.
Yeah.
Then that would be
or I could have been looking out for baking things or Pyrex dishes. But over the years, it's a case of what are you looking out for? So
today? Yeah.
we can both look out for each other's things.
Yeah.
Or camping things. I've bought a lot of camping equipment, including the gas heater, which I paid. It was a yacht heater that I bought. I paid £2 for, and he's like, "What'd you buy that for?"
I've done camping for years.
Never had a heater.
I mean, camping in January on Dartmoor and stuff like that.
I've had to defrost my
wetsuit for canoeing over a fire.
Over an open fire, so that I could even get it on.
Yeah.
Because it stood up on its own. And, yeah, but I like a heater. So the very first night we used it, turned it off for safety, went to sleep. 2 o'clock in the morning. What on earth are you doing? I'm putting the heater on.
It was cold. And we had a heater.
After that, it was an absolute combat.
Yes, I had done the hardship of the camping without heaters and without a lot of stuff. But it's like, if it's sat there, turn it on.
Why rough it if you don't have to?
Yeah.
And over the years, our camping kind of evolved into something more like glamping is known as today.
In the end, we bought a caravan.
Well, no, I'm just thinking of the camping. Then we started using caravan pitches.
Yeah.
So we had the electric hookup.
hookups.
So the heater became electric. I used to take carpet with us, so there's none of this cold floor in the morning.
We've taken sofas.
Flushing loo.
Sofas. But because I'm a plumbing because I used to be a plumbing and heating engineer.
He'd plumb a bathroom in
Plumb a bathroom for it. No. But because I used to be a plumbing and heating engineer, I tended to have a van, and when I was self-employed, obviously it was my own van. But I've had vans for since I've started driving most of the time. And so
there was one camping trip where you took the transit van.
Yeah.
And I drove up in the Galaxy.
It was
all full of camping.
Yes. It was camping and canoeing gear. So anyway, moving on. What have you got next? So that was the child carrier.
Right. Well, this was not something I particularly wanted to get, but it was 50p on a charity stall, and I just rather liked it. It was just a little mirror. I suppose it's a jewellery box or a trinket box or whatever. It says on it, the clue's in the name, it's a trinket box.
A trinket box.
Well, after I bought it, I did notice there is...
it's on the back.
Oh, it's on the back. On the back there is some damage to the mirror
Just there, yeah.
And a slight little bit there, but it was 50p. And I always think at a boot sale, once you've made that very first purchase, then things start to roll.
Got to kind of get,
If you, well, as I said to you earlier, if you don't make your first purchase, you can go in without anything at all. Well, you would, wouldn't you?
That would be it, yes.
But I always feel better if I can get something at the beginning, because then it just feels as though the gods of the boot sale are behind you, and you're going to find all sorts of amazing things. And that mirror box worked.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Now, can you remember how much did I say that? How much did I have at the boot sale yesterday?
You went with 50.
I went with I went with 90. Because I borrowed 50 from Jan. I already had 40.
Point.
Had 40.
Oh, so that's 90.
And then I borrowed another
25.
Another 25, wasn't it? That was it.
Was it 25?
I gave
or was
10
it 30?
back. Borrowed 30. I gave 10 back, I think.
No. You borrowed 50 at the cash point. Then you borrowed 25 later on when we bumped into each other walking round. Then you needed an extra 10.
So it's 35.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. So
he owes me. Guess who's washing up?
Right, now the relevance of that, I'm going to go through some of these jeans. The relevance of that is I bought, with that amount of money, I bought 43 pairs of jeans, and just here on this list I have 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pairs of jeans, and as I say, at the mid price, it comes up to £221 is what that should be worth.
What, reselling for?
Of reselling.
Resale value.
Of the resale value. So that is not taken from the prices that people have got them up for on eBay. That is taken from sold prices. So that should be achievable. So say from, what was that, 100 and... Was that 135?
I lost count.
About 135 from about, no, it's 125, 90 and 35.
I was just thinking, I know that we banned that chap who was getting very upset with us because we didn't take enough money to boot sale.
Yeah.
Last year we had a troll who kept saying that you're not taking enough money to... Yeah, we know we weren't taking enough. We didn't have enough.
We didn't have enough money. Yeah.
There was a reason.
Yeah. But anyway,
we haven't got it, we don't take it.
So this should be so from 125 to 221, just on 13 of the pairs of jeans, but there's another 30 that I haven't included in that, so that should be at quite a lot more. But just on these 13, I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of... Now, on these jeans, the highest price I paid for any of them was £5. By the way, I think I'm going to flip through these jeans quickly, and then we get on to Jan's interesting stuff. So if you want to wind forward to Jan's interesting stuff... But I'm going to quickly go through these jeans.
It's that interesting. I've got some fragile tape.
No, I'm going to go and do these first.
I've got 2 fragile tapes. I'm just saying it's not all that interesting, but some of it is...
More interesting than 11 to 13 pairs of jeans.
Okay, you go through your stuff.
I'll go through my stuff quite quickly. Okay, so we have first pair of jeans. These are quite a good price ones. What are they? I am dyslexic, so
fashionable. FACONNABLE jeans.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you would normally pronounce that.
I've never heard of them, but then there's lots of...
You're leaning into that mug. Either drink it or get rid of it or something.
There's lots of jeans I won't have heard of, and I like the little logo. But these ones should sell for about £26. So I know I never paid more than £5 for them, because I didn't pay more than £5 for any of them. But £26, not bad. Next ones we have Guess. Yes. Not heard of that. They have a little logo on the back.
It also says, that Beverly presumably would be the design of the
right, ultra skinny low.
Yeah, so that would be like the range or whatever.
Ultra skinny low. So they're not bad. I mean, they're jeans. Now they are £31. That's not bad. £31. Right. Next we have
I'm trying to move my foot.
Abercrombie
and there's your foot and the
Fitch.
dog there. Yeah. You pick up quite a few Abercrombies, don't you?
Yeah.
Or you have picked up quite a few.
They're actually not as good. I mean, I could be wrong. When I start listing these properly and do a lot more research, or maybe things will. I mean, they're not bad.
More of these designer holes in them.
Yeah. But they're actually average £15.
Right.
So not amazing.
But how much did you pay for them?
Possibly only paid about £3 for them.
So 15 return on 3 is not bad.
Yeah.
You're still heading in the right direction.
Now these have still got the label.
I'm trying to read that.
G Star on Raw.
Raw. Yeah, G Star. It's G-Star Raw. And the label here looks as though it's intentionally crazed to add whatever, because they're clearly brand new with a brand new ticket on for
107. Oh, is that the right way? Yeah. Yeah, so £107 there. And this is the...
Does it say what shop it is or anything?
I can't see a shop.
I just wondered on the price label.
Right.
It's all upside down to me. That's actually a reduced price. That's a recommended retail price underneath, which also looks like 107. So I don't know. Anyway,
maybe there's an original price, but interesting, and it's got some kind of tag, manufactured by G Star. I mean, that looks quite. Yeah. So I would have thought that
I have no idea what that would be, other than another kind of authenticity kind of thing. It's certainly not stop you stealing it one.
So anyway, now you'd think that they would be quite. I mean, they look like they should be quite expensive, but apparently, on what I could find, they're only £19 on average. So that's what
so you never can tell.
That's what I've. Well, maybe they'd go for higher.
Well, with the price on it, you would hope so.
Yeah, but
then the sold price, was that a buy it now or an auction?
These are all buy it nows, not auctions. So, but anyway, so I've marked that down for £19. So it's not, you know, I haven't inflated these values. I've kind of put it down as what they came up on the. Hey, what was this one? Oh, Levi's. Right, this one's kind of interesting. Now, this is Levi's 501s. Unfortunately, that started to peel off. However, a bit of information.
Well, it's not peeling off, it's the stitching.
The stitching's come undone. Now, I don't know if you guys. I did a bit of research back a few weeks ago on Levi's. And you may or may not have seen this. This is where the Levi name normally is. And this just has an R, which is a copyright. Now, what I learnt is that these are still genuine. If anything, these kind of show as more genuine. Because fakers probably wouldn't know to do this. But with Levi's, it's not just the name that is copyrighted. It is this having this tag where it is copyrighted, and that to demonstrate that it's the tag as well, Levi's have to do a tag with just the copyright, proving that the tag is copyrighted in that way. So there's a certain amount they have to do without their name on it, and just prove it's the tag that's copyrighted, which I thought was really interesting. Could have been a
limited run just with those.
Absolutely, these would be a limited run just with the R on it. So that's quite interesting. So that may.
Can I just have a look at it? So if I see
yeah.
it.
So if you
and
see,
do you know what the R stands for?
Copyright. It's a C. It's
the R with a C in it. Yeah,
the R.
Oh right, yeah. The R in a circle.
R in a circle is copyright.
So it's a capital R in a. Looks more like an O than a circle. It's not a completely round circle, is it? And that's kind of stitched in. It's stitched onto the label rather than printed onto it.
So it is.
That's good to know.
So that was really interesting. To note. Now, Levi's in general, what we're looking at is £27.67 is their average. So yeah, that's not so. You know, I paid on Chester. I paid a £5 for them, and for them to get to probably go about 27 quid is pretty reasonable, I think. Next one, right. Here we have another pair of Levi's, and here we have the same tag, and you can see that you've still got the R on it, but it actually has the name on it, so that's the difference. So exactly the same as just a pair of Levi's. Next one, this is another pair of the Abercrombie and Fitch. Again, these ones are a bit distressed. I found out the difference that if you're seeing the material into the inner part of the material, then it counts as distressed, and apparently if it's a hole all the way through, then they count as destroyed ones. Little bit of something I learnt.
A little bit of product knowledge.
Last pair of trousers. Yeah, these are, what's that brand? Hollister.
Hollister, yeah.
So these are Hollisters, and Hollisters, these are only 11 quid. But 11 quid, I think I paid about 2 or 3, I might have paid £3 for these, but there's still profit in them. Anyway, so that is me on the trousers. I know for a lot of people trousers might be a bit boring, but the thing is, if you're reselling trousers, everybody who doesn't wear most people wear trousers. There are so many trousers out there, and being able to buy them,
and particularly jeans.
Yeah, to buy them at a good reduced price, and to know that there's profit. You know, if I'm buying jeans at under £5, that doesn't matter what jeans they are. There's most probably profit in them. Mm-hmm. So, and even the even not the huge brands, not the really expensive brands, just basic kind of even kind of Tesco's brands and the main supermarket brands, they still go for like a tenner. You know, so if you're picking them up for, I mean, a lot of my jeans I'm picking up for £1 to £2. It's only like the Levi's that I'm picking up for like a £5 and that. So,
and the Levi's always used to be a better value one because the denim was that much stronger.
Yeah.
You know, it was a real. I seem to remember something years ago about them being made out of some sort of tent fabric when it was back in cowboy days. I don't. Might be. I might have dreamt that and made it up on my own, but because when the old cowboys needed strong trousers.
Yeah.
as opposed to a normal fabric that wears out quickly. So
well, denim is a really strong material, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
Apart from when people cut holes in them. I mean, obviously.
And use cheese graters
and
on
cheese
them,
graters and things.
And I also know, I don't know what it says on the label on the Levi's that you've got there, but I noticed at the boot sale this morning, the person who was selling the Levi's, every pair was a pair of Levi Strauss.
Yeah.
Do you remember me saying that when I was a girl,
yeah.
Levi's were always known as Levi Strauss, not just
just
the abbreviated. We
not
would
the
say
abbreviated
the whole name.
Yeah. But I've always known them as just Levi's, not Levi Strauss. So.
Yeah, well, at some point between my childhood and your childhood, we got lazy.
Exactly.
We dropped the Strauss, I suppose.
But anyway, so that's it. Let's move on to some more of your bits, Jan, because that's mine done.
Well, these are quite boring, really. Just a pair of old-fashioned knives. I'm guessing these are from around about the 30s. These would have originally, this kind of knife used to come with a bone handle, but unfortunately, bone handles, if you leave them soaking in washing up liquid, start to dissolve.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing less and less.
You say them about knives. Aren't they just typically butter knives, or do people use them for other things?
No,
Because I always thought
these
that
originally
style...
were dinner knives from a canteen of cutlery. So you would
They were
have
just
knives and
dinner
forks.
knives.
These two are from original. They're not actually from
So
the
would
same
these
set.
have,
These
so
are
would
dinner
these have
knives,
been
and
sharp?
I would.
Would these
Yeah,
have...
yeah. Not the tip, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would cut your meat with that. That's
Because I've always known these as like really blunt knives.
only from age.
Only
from being worn out. But
and
you know,
being used for butter. I mean, that's what the general thing is. I mean, I would never.
well, I don't know what
consider-
other families do, but I had my mum's old ones from her canteen and always used them as butter knives.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're
those
perfect
bone
shape
handles
for
are wearing
butter.
out now. She did get some replacement knives that had plastic handles, and I'm guessing, because these two are plastic handles as well, so I'm guessing they're from around about 1930 onwards.
Right.
They're Sheffield steel knives.
Is that what the brand says on there?
It says, I can't read the brand, something or other stainless, which would be the stainless steel.
Yeah.
And then a maker's name that is in fancy script and I can't read it.
Yeah.
Something and Richmond, Sheffield. But, you know, Sheffield stainless steel. But I just buy them because somehow butter knives get lost. It's like teaspoons.
How does
Where
that
do they
happen?
go?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can only think that they accidentally get thrown in the bin when I'm not in the kitchen.
No idea.
Or, when Darcy was alive, I remember taking her blankets out of her bed to wash one day and I found several butter knives.
Several butter knives. Been
Naughty
left.
Darcy.
Well,
So-
can you imagine if they'd been left on the side with butter and she just, I'll take it to bed and lick it.
And we have to watch out because little miss over there can reach the side now, so we have to be very, very careful. But
They're being very well behaved today.
I paid £1 for the pair, so 50p each. But they're hard to come by. Like I say,
Yeah.
the actual bone handle knives now, because the bones are getting dissolved in fairy liquid, are even harder to come by. But the plastic handles will do. Just got a couple of those for
Nice.
us. So I'm waiting for you to.
I haven't got any more
Because
items.
normally I've only got 3 or 4 things.
I know,
I'm so
Jan's
not
done
used to-
so well. And I mean, I've got another 30 pairs of shit. No, I won't.
Yeah, but they're behind the sofa, and I think they
And
can
they should stay there. Yeah.
My cupcake tin, about that sort of size, keeps getting used for Yorkshire pudding, and
It's a good size for
And
Yorkshire
then-
pudding. I mean,
whoever washes up uses the wrong thing to wash it up,
And they
and
scratch.
it's getting slightly scratched, and I'm getting upset. And I saw this one, which has got the Pyrex branding on it. I had no idea Pyrex
no.
did metal.
But if it's Pyrex, you know it's quality.
But lady wanted £1 for it, so I know that these are, you know, sort of 10, 12, 15 pounds brand new. I don't know what the Pyrex ones are, but they're not cheap.
Not going to be cheap. I mean, you know it's a good brand.
And I
so.
thought, well, for £1,
Yeah.
I will absolutely
And that's
have that. So
1, 2, 3, 4,
12.
12 Yorkshire puddings.
No, this is for
Cupcakes.
cakes.
You can make cakes. You're good at making cakes.
I know I could, and I know I am, but maybe one
Cakes
day,
this
but not today.
afternoon.
Today is not the day.
Oh, well. It's worth trying, guys. Okay.
Right, so there was that one. I paid £1 for that.
That's pretty good.
And then this one is rather sweet. It's a little honey jar. And he's a bear. He's got his arms holding onto a jar of honey.
So
and then on his hat, it's almost like a bee's. Is
so
it
literally,
antenna? No, not antenna. What do you call the bees thingies?
I don't.
It's not the bee's knees, is it?
No, the bee's knees are down here.
I know, but what are these bits called?
I don't know. They're things. Whatever.
Well,
if you know,
these have like that.
Yeah, let us know.
He's got on his hat.
Yeah.
50p.
And then, so what? You put honey in there?
Yeah, or
whatever you want.
Whatever you wanted to put in there.
But it's quite cute.
Yeah, he's quite a sweet little thing, and he was in the 50p box, so.
Yeah.
I often have a look in the 50p box and the 20p boxes, and then I buy things just because they're nice and they're cheap.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And then I might stick them on eBay, or they might end up in the cupboard, or they might end up
anywhere.
Anything could happen, who knows? So there's that one. And then I came to a sad stall. The ladies were very happy.
A sad stall? Why was it sad?
It was sad because one of the ladies was selling her mum's collections of things.
That's quite sad.
And I know what that's like because I've had to do it with my mum, and it is sad, but she had collections of decorative plates, loads of mugs, all sorts of figurines. But the one that caught my eye was right at the back, and it was this one. And immediately I'm thinking, is it? And turn it over, and yes, it's a genuine Ladro piece. It's actually called Puppy Love, young boy and young girl. It's quite a big. Oh, we haven't got the tins of Coke. I was gonna.
Yes, look.
If you're showing the height of things on eBay, I've noticed that some people. Have you got the other one there?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are showing, because that's internationally known size. You can actually use a true to size gauge for people to see exactly how tall it is. And
yeah.
I just thought that's a really good idea. So
it's really
this morning
good
we purchased some Coke.
I've drunk two already, but you know.
But I have to say,
it's a really good way of gauging it.
That this is such a lovely piece, and though I'm not an ornament type of person, I've never been the sort of person to have ornaments. But I'm picking up so much Ladro these days that I have a dream of a shelf covered in inexpensive ornaments. And I don't know why, because I really don't want something that just gathers dust. Well, no, you would not be dusting them, no. I get nervous when you come near the table that it's on. But said to the lady, how much are you asking? And she had 3 figurines there. She had this one, which is a lady feeding goose. This one is, which way up is it? Neo, which is a part of the Ladro company. And then there was another one in the middle, which was in the style of Ladro. It was a different firm that I didn't recognise, but she wanted £15 each. And I thought, each? I'll have that one straight away.
Yeah.
This one was last sold on eBay at £76. But I've seen it selling for up to 150.
Wow.
Which is why I'm thinking, I want a shelf and keep it.
Yes.
Because my auntie used to collect these, and you know, she had very good taste and a lot of money. And I just want to be like her. And I saw this particular one a couple of weeks ago, and the lady wanted 10 quid for it. Not this actual one, but this lady feeding geese. And I didn't buy it then, went home and looked it up and thought, oh, perhaps I should have. It hasn't got a great deal of value. I mean, it maybe £15, 20 on a good day.
Right, so
it's not hugely valuable.
Quite a lot of difference between this one and this one.
There's a huge amount of difference. This would have been a lot more expensive to begin with. And these were typically bought by people of say, my parents' age, going out to Spain for their holidays, and they would come back with a piece of Ladro, and they would, you know, these being the more expensive ones, there are more of this type than there are of this sort of thing. But they are all limited edition ones, and once they've finished making the set amount of them, the mould is broken, so that's a set amount. And Ladro is universally very collectible. At the moment, the prices are really way down. But all the time that you've got collectors and a limited supply, it's only got one way it can go. So if you can pick it up now at a decent price, and if you're young enough, you know, I'm probably not going to be around in 50 years' time to see this worth a lot of money. Probably you won't be either.
I very much doubt
it.
it.
And even if you are, you'll have smashed it by then. But you know, if you're in your 20s or 30s and looking for investment pieces, I'd say you could do a lot worse than picking up Ladro. But especially because
at the prices you can pick them up now, if they do appreciate over time, then you know you're going to pick up some.
But I'm getting so used to my Ladro pieces now that I'm looking at them, and although I don't know which artist sculpted them originally, I'm beginning to see, to kind of recognise a certain person's work.
The other thing that I'd like to say about the Ladro, if you turn those back round, I'm not even going to touch them. But if you look at the goose here, and some of the other bits, there are some. So it's like quite a fragile bits. So, and Ladro does have quite fragile bits on them. So you do have the ability for quite a lot to break. So
absolutely, when they're made, the artist will make them first of all, and then they're actually reproduced in, I think they call them fractions, where the foot would be cast, the hat would be cast, you know, all the different components would be cast separately, then joined together
before it's fired,
fixed together,
and
fired, painted, and you know, you get some of them have got very delicate hands with a separate finger, and always look out for the fingers being snapped, because it's these very, very weak points. Also, another point to look out for is if they've been sat on, as I suspect this one has, might have been sat on a sideboard for the last 50 years. They tend to pick up a bit of grease and grime. If you put them in hot soapy water, you may start to free up the glue that's holding the bits together. So only ever clean them in cool water, just lukewarm water.
But I think the thing that I was trying to say is that because most of them do have fragile bits, over a period of time, you're going to find that because they were limited amounts that come from the moulds, is that there'll be a lot of breakages, so that there'll be less and less and less of them, which hopefully would make them more valuable as time goes on, because they do have fragile parts. If they were something that was not, I'm not saying they break easily, but there is a potential.
Things do break easily, though. I mean, this is porcelain. Yeah, it will break, and it's not going to take a lot to snap off a finger or a foot.
Yeah. So I think that will help the price.
A couple of months ago, I saw a piece that he wanted £40 for. In the end, he offered me it for 30, but I didn't have 30 on me that day. But I was so glad that I didn't get it, because it had lots of individual little flowers and tiny, tiny little bits that would be, if I did ever sell it, posting it would have even made me nervous, and I'm quite good at packing fragile things. So but anyway,
nice.
So
really well done.
I'm just trying to move them out of the way now, so nowhere they're going to fall off the table, even if the dogs bump into it or something. So that's two. Oh, what I forgot to say is I bought this one immediately. She also had some mugs, so I bought some mugs. Then I carried on going round, came back to see if this one was left. It was, and after her 10, which she accepted, so the £15 had gone down to 10. So I was happy to pay 10 for that. I think any more than 10 would have been too much, but this one, 15, was an absolute steal. I think at a boot sale, I might have even gone to 25 on that one.
Right.
Because I could immediately tell by the size and the weight and the subject matter that it was going to have a good resale value if I ever did want to sell it.
Nice.
But then she also had a ton of mugs and all bone china. There's this whole set here.
A bit more.
Yeah, I was going to move them over so that I could hold them up to show. Now these are all. I could hold 3 in that hand and 3 in that hand.
Brilliant.
Danbury Mint Westies. It's a set of 6, and it would appear that Danbury Mint as a company is a company that makes collectibles. So you've got a whole collection of Westies mugs in a set of 6. These have been used, so a little bit tea stained, but
interestingly enough, though, they've got a little design inside, and each little design is a different.
A different picture.
It's
yeah,
a different little
don't
picture.
Know if you can see that just inside the cup there.
And
they say on the bottom, standing tall and wild Westie, tired out. So they've each got a separate name for the mug, and they're by Paul Doyle Westies, one of a collection of 6 fine English bone china, Danbury Mint, dishwasher and microwave safe. And if you get anything with tea stains inside, then a bit of what do you call it? Not Jeff, the pink stuff. Yeah, the pink stuff. Or I'll just stick bleach in it and let it soak in bleach for a couple of hours.
When you say in bleach, you mean a diluted, like
you put down the toilet. I put a few drops in the bottom, fill it up with hot water, and let it sit for.
Yeah, so it's not just completely full of bleach, just kind of.
Only you would hear that.
Well, it's what I heard. You said fill it with bleach. It's like just bleach with water.
A little squirt of bleach in the. Well, probably if I was doing this many mugs, I'd do bleach in the bottom of that, fill it up, and then an hour or so later, I'd tip it into the next one, and then do the whole lot.
So that just makes sense. I don't have that.
And then I'd wash them out completely because you don't want people drinking bleach. But
no.
But that's what I do with my tea mugs.
So if you're doing that around any kids, make sure that the bleach and the cup is well away from kids or animals.
Kids or old people as well, because old people might not know. Don't do it with near anybody.
If you've got any bleach around, just make sure it's away from kids, animals, old people. Anyone who doesn't know that that's happening, keep it well out of their way.
Right. Well, the mugs,
and supervise it.
I paid 50p for, so this whole set was £3.
Nice.
It has recently sold at £48.99.
What? £48?
£48 for a complete set of 6 Westies mugs.
Nice. So £3 into 48.
Yep.
Hang on. Well then.
And then, can you help to move these? Because I bought more mugs.
You bought more mugs? I sound surprised. I can see them sat there. I'm just trying to play it up for the camera, obviously. I mean,
right, those 6 I bought. I think when I went back the second time. Yeah, I bought those on the second round. The first time when I bought the big Ladro or Yadro, however you pronounce it, she had a whole lot of flower fairy mugs.
Flower fairies.
Same type, Danbury Mint.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the flower fairies. One of a collection of 6 fine English bone china, the same sort of thing.
Nice.
But she had a whole load of them. She actually had 12 of them. Turns out when we get home, it was 2 sets. So I've got.
Oh, it's 2 sets, right.
But unfortunately, just as I was buying them, I had my hand kind of like that saying, I'd like the flower fairies ones, and all of a sudden one came out from under my hand, and the woman next to me said, I'm buying this one for my friend. Oh, we all hate it when that happens, don't we?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, what do? If I start, because I actually said I was buying all of them and glared at her, and she said, I'm getting this one for my friend. And I thought, if I don't just let her have that one, she could start saying, I want them all as well. And then we get into some sort of price war, put the lady who was selling them in a really awkward, difficult position. So I just said, well, I'll have all of the rest then.
Yeah.
And started at that point picking them up and sticking them in my bag.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting 11.
So not quite 2 sets. So there was 2
fairies.
whole sets, but
Well, I can only assume it was the second set. You know, she'd taken one out of the second set. All again, Danbury mint.
Really nice.
In all, I bought from those 2 ladies, I bought 17 mugs at 50p each, one ladder £15 and the other one at £10. So I feel I was their best customer on the day. But I think I've done really well. I've lost my pink book. Here's my pink book. And the flower fairies, a set of 6 last sold for £30.
Wow.
But then somebody else had broken 2, presumably, because they sold a set of 4 for £40.
Oh.
And I have sold Leslie's cats 3 out of a series of 6. I sold them individually, and I think they sold for sort of, I think one was £6. I think I sold one cheaper because it had a slight mark on it. But the other 2 went for about 10ish. So these Danbury Mint collections,
£10 each.
And that's what I was actually looking for in terms of mugs. It's anything that looks as though it's part of a collection, because they're obviously where the money is.
Yeah.
And then she had 2 plates as well, which were pretty.
Right.
And I asked, but she wanted £5 each for the plates, and she then offered them to me for £4. But I thought, do you know what? I've got a ton of plates that I inherited from my mum and dad. I've got a whole series of planes from World War II. You know, the ones that you stick up in things on the wall, not for eating off. So I've got all the World War II planes. I've got a complete series of Blue Jasper Christmas plates from Wedgwood and the Christmas mugs. I think they're also Royal Dalton Christmas plates as well. And my mum and dad used to collect china. It seems when you get to a certain age, you just start collecting china. And I don't know what happens to people, but then it's almost happened to me. Because this is like mine. And then I want more. I don't know what it is to old people. And why it happens in your 60s, I thought it wouldn't happen until I was in my 70s. It's like you start buying beige coats. And why would you do that? I mean, I tend to buy 2 of everything. So when one gets lost or whatever. And I bought dog walking coats. I bought one in a lovely sort of raspberry colour, raspberry and black. And then one in camel and black. And it's like, why have I gone into old people's uniform? I wasn't old when I bought it. I am now. But I go to grab one to go out with the dogs, and I think, well, I suppose I ought to wear the old one. As if people can't tell by looking at me. I'm past me prime.
Oh dear, lovely.
But anyway, like I say, that was for me a really, really good boot. So I ended up spending, because normally I'll come home and have good change out of £10. Sometimes change out of a £5. But yesterday I spent £37.20, not including all the money that I gave you.
Yeah, really well done.
But I actually spent £37.20. Like I say, a couple of from the lady who sells these.
I think a really good idea that you
rolls.
actually get some rolls of fragile tape. With the fragile stuff that you do, it kind of makes sense.
I bought one the other week, and she had a whole pile of them. I just bought one. I brought home and I thought, what was I thinking? I do send out a lot of fragile stuff. You know, it's often just a mug at a time, but it does need a fragile.
Yeah.
I did have some fragile labels to stick on the box, but they come in a sheet, and I used all of those. And I thought, well, this is better. You're sometimes saying, can I have some of your fragile tape?
Yeah.
So I bought 2.
Excellent.
But I'm still gutted that I left the tape roll dispenser thing on a stall last week. Because I looked at it and I thought, well, I've got one. Neil's got one. We don't need another one. But then I'm thinking,
yeah, another dispenser.
Actually, yeah, I do.
So we'll be looking for another dispenser.
If I see them again, then I will buy another one. But anyway, that was me.
That's all done. Well, excellent. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you've seen anything there that you've got any more information about, and
if you
including
have a
the
spare
jeans.
Flower Fairies mug that might make up my set,
Yeah.
that you want to donate, I'm not paying for it. I only go up to 50p on mugs. And actually, you know, that's why I got all these, because they were a really good price. Normally, bone china, I don't want to pay more than 50p. You know,
Yeah.
this one I think I got for, oh, that's my QE2 mug. That one was 20p.
So, really good.
And the one I sold for £9 the other week because I didn't like it, that was 20p. So
Yeah.
20 to 50p is what I'm willing to pay on a mug.
Sounds good to me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you.
Between us, we will have bored most of you.
Yeah. If anyone,
People interested in jeans won't want to know about the mugs, and people interested in mugs won't
anybody
want to know
who's
about
watched
jeans,
it to this point,
but... well done.
well done. Drop a comment. Say, still watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know if you're still watching at this point. Just write in the comment. Still watching. Love your stuff. Anyway.
Yeah,
excellent.
and don't forget to like and subscribe. That really does help.
Anyway, see you guys on the next film.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.